Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell in your afternoon drive. Let's bring in Gary Sheffield Jr. He's got a great podcast that he does talking about the Yankees every day. And he joins us now on our hotline, his podcast called Yankees Unloaded. And, Gary, what did you think about them appealing the bat and trying to say that he shaves his bat or he bones his bat? And I'm sure, I think I have one of your dad's bats where he shaved the handle. I think it's just, what are the Yankees trying to prove last night when you have the lead in the ninth inning and a 200 hitter hits a double?
Honestly, I just felt like it was grasping for straws. And the Yankees are trying to find any way to win these games. I get it. This is just part of the gamesmanship. Like sometimes, right, you saw what happened with George Brett, and obviously he lost his mind. But this just happens. The bat looked funky. I'll give him that, right? The whole barrel was, all the paint was gone. I really wasn't sure what to make of it. I saw they slapped a sticker on it. I assumed they just authenticated it, and they're going to go look at it. I'm not sure what they're going to do about it. But Yankees found a way to win.
Found a way to win. I'll tell you what, 7-8-9's been some fun stuff in Yankee land lately. Chef, who is your reliable guy in the bullpen right now? Who do you really think that, okay, we got to put him out there because he will get us 3 outs?
Well, it's between Fernando Cruz and obviously David Bednar. I always like the mentality of a guy. It's not just about output, right? Like what you get out of it, but what's the temperament like? And that's what made Mariano Rivera so great, is that you can see the demeanor when he gets on the mound is, okay, this is going to work out. I get that same feeling with Bednar. And I even saw it in Pittsburgh. It was a shame he was kind of wasting his time away. But now that he's in the Bronx, I think he can handle it. And then obviously Fernando Cruz, a little bit less sexy of a name, came from Cincinnati. And you're like, who the heck is this guy? Well, he's got a devastating splitter and doesn't throw a ton of strikes, but he's not afraid to throw that pitch anytime. And he's honestly one of the more deadly arms in the game. So it's really just those two. The rest are, in my opinion, they're lemons.
Talk about the defensive schemes. I mean, at times, because of Judge's injury, you keep sticking Stanton out there. Stanton could barely run. Could barely throw. I'm watching the game last night. A ball comes off the wall. He did hold the guy to a single. But, whether you got Dominguez out there or you got Stanton in left field, a lot of times as a former pitcher, I kind of like my best defense to be behind me when I make mistakes. Is there any way the Yankees can have a better defensive scheme moving towards the postseason?
Well, I mean, you're exactly right. I mean, any pitcher, you don't want to look out and see a guy who's got a bunch of soft tissue injuries, and he's trying to manage those in real time. Like, he's being smart, technically. Like, if he does anything more than a valet jog, he knows he's going to hurt himself. So I'm going to keep my bat in the lineup. And then today, obviously, I don't know if you guys saw the news, but just minutes ago, Aaron Judge is going to be in the outfield. He's in right field. Stan is back at DH. So the pitchers rejoice. You get to see a much better defender out there, a Gold Glover. So pretty cool. But, you're definitely right. They don't want to put him out there either. But if you don't put him out there while Judge was hurt, you get no Stanton bat. So damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Is Judge your AL MVP right now?
No question. I was actually taking a look at the odds this morning, and pretty much went through the roof for Judge. Cal Raleigh he's still hitting homers. Definitely an impressive season. I never try to take anything away from him because he doesn't deserve that. It's probably one of the better hitting seasons for a catcher ever. It's up there with Mike Piazza, Johnny Bench, but Aaron Judge is the MVP. He's finally picking it up, and I assume he's getting a little bit more healthy, but shoe in MVP at this point.
Talking to Gary Sheffield Jr. I mean, listen, you watch every second of every Yankee game, and sometimes some of this baseball, we watch all the Red Sox and the Mets as well. It's painful. It's very painful because a guy could be on a roll. It could be Rodon. It could be Fried. They're going to pull him at a certain point because it's scripted and go to the bullpen. And right now the bullpen looks really tired. I know you were upset about Luke Weaver, but I feel bad for these guys because they are in almost every game and exhausted. The Red Sox, I mean, Bernardino, that dude closed out a game and opens the next game. I mean, it's not just the Yankees. It's everywhere. Is there any way that as we get towards the postseason, and I know that, Garrett Cole is done for the year and stuff like that, but you still have some pretty good arms in your rotation in Fried and Rodon. Any chance they let those guys go an extra inning here and there in the postseason?
No chance. And it's sad. I'm with you. I'm 100% on your side. Not all innings are good innings. The way Major League Baseball teams look at it, they don't see it as tread on a tire. They see it as, if our starter gives us 4 shutouts, that's just 4 shutouts. How are we going to get the rest of these 5? Well, let's go to these 5 arms. You're passing the baton to 5, 6 different people. Something could go wrong, and by the time you get to the end of the season, those guys who are in your bullpen, if you end up working 75 to 100 innings, and we're starting to see that, where guys are going into triple digits, that's disgusting. You can't get to October baseball and say, why isn't he pitching the way that he did in April? Well, maybe you should look at the back of his baseball card and realize all of those successful seasons where you saw him perform well in October, he never pitched 90 innings plus to get to this point. That there's some type of maintenance that has to come with pitching, and the only thing you can do to provide maintenance to your bullpen is allow those starters to go, man.
It seems like everybody's in this boat. Like every single team that I'm looking at as far as the playoff contenders go, that I could make an argument, only if they have the pitching in the end. And we say this about a lot of teams, like New York Mets right in our neighborhood, and they're dealing with – I saw Kodai Senga going to AAA here to get right. Hopefully that will happen. But as far as these teams, for the New York Yankees in particular, what's their worst matchup? Who do they not want to see in the playoffs? Because it's just been a thorn in their side this year in a bad matchup.
Well, first and foremost, Boston has just had our number. We don't want to see Boston at all. Now, they lost Roman Anthony, which is devastating, right? And now you have to look at it and say, all right, well, Boston is ahead enough that they're going to be in the wild card no matter what. And you're obviously looking at Seattle. But I'm going to be honest with you. I think the biggest problem for the Yankees is going to be running into teams positionally out in the field. They can put the ball in play. And they're looking to miss bats. They're looking to pass the baton to other guys who can miss bats. But you've seen in some of these Toronto series, they're slapping balls in play, striking out 2, 3, maybe even 4 times in a game. That's next level. In today's game, you don't see that. And a lot of times with the shift and everything, you see some wonky balls in play that guys weren't expecting, and it's killing the Yankees. So any team you see, Toronto, Boston, teams that like to put the ball in play, I'm trying to avoid them at all costs.
Do you think, and looking at some of these guys, and listen, Jazz Chisholm, albeit, some of the things that he does, I think he's a pretty good fielder, and he's a damn good hitter at times, but, going 0 for 3 or 0 for 4 with 3 or 4 strikeouts sometimes can be annoying.
Yeah.
Do you let Bellinger get away? Are you trying to lure a guy like Kyle Tucker or Alex Bregman? Because Alex Bregman, I think, would fit in, famously in this lineup, but I love what Bellinger's done this year. How do you see the Yankees, and I know this is a little forward thinking, what do you think of next year's lineup? What do you think it's going to look like?
There's got to be a priority on guys that can make adjustments. And when you mentioned Bellinger, and even when you went with Jazz, the thing about Jazz, super talented, but makes really no adjustment whatsoever. He's going to beat you the same way. If he beats you, it's the same way, right? He's got lightning power. Crazy talent. I mean, that's what makes people so frustrated watching him. But, man, can he change a game. But as far as next year, I'm prioritizing it. Maybe it's not a Trent Grisham, maybe not. I need guys that if they don't hit a home run, can they slap a ball the other way? If they see a shift that just they're giving away a hit, can they take that? I saw actually a famous quote from Cody Bellinger. He said, sometimes I need my driver, sometimes I need my pitching wedge. I'm like, can we get more guys like that in the Yankees lineup, please? And if you let any one of those players walk, in my opinion, as if you're the GM and you're Brian Cashman, you're not doing your job. If you let a player like that who's having one of the better years of his career in pinstripes, you let him go to free agency, you would be a fool.
Ryan McMahon was with the Yard Goats in our backyard here in Hartford because that's the AA affiliate of the Colorado Rockies. He's a friend of our show. We love this kid. He's a good dude, man. But but this is what we say, Gary, in our studio. It's Major League Baseball, not Major League Friends. And so, like, when we look at Ryan McMahon, we might be looking at him with rose-colored glasses. What's your early returns for Ryan McMahon in pinstripe so far?
It's so hard to criticize these guys, right, and be critical, especially when you see him. You don't want to see him on a golf course somewhere after saying anything about him. But Ryan McMahon, he's got a ton of talent. I mean, if you look at him, in the field, he's awesome. He brought the Yankees really what they needed, right? Peraza wasn't doing it at the hot corner. He wasn't hitting the licks, hitting $150. Well, Ryan McMahon had a huge day yesterday, 3-hit day. Does it mean everything for the future? No. He's owed $16 million this year, next year, and the year after that. You've got to hit. And Ryan McMahon knows that. So I'm just interested to see what he does, because there's just no way to predict. I mean, even in Colorado, which is a great place, ideal to hit, even especially at home, maybe a little tougher when you go on the road, he wasn't really putting up monster numbers at home in Colorado either. So it's going to be up to some of the staffers to get the most out of this player, because I believe the talent's there.
Talking to Gary Sheffield Jr., does a nice podcast, Unloaded, Yankees Unloaded podcast. Gary, where can they go and get your podcast? How can they download it?
Anywhere they listen to their podcast. Well, we would appreciate anyone stopping by, but our main source is YouTube. We are on camera, so
awesome.
Absolutely love it. It's a great time, and if anyone's a Yankees fan, hop on in. Let
me ask you about umpires, man. I mean, I hate them, and right now they're never been worse. And it doesn't help with the catchers doing the ground up, the side over. They're always moving their catcher's mitt. But just your overall view on the umpiring in baseball.
You know, the thing that bothers me the most right now is just the chip on your shoulder, which has always been around, right? People having the chip on their shoulder, they're not taking constructive criticism, they're rejecting it, and having this brazen mentality the rest of the game, and impacting the game in the series, making us talk about. I mean, Brian Walsh is a name I heard a lot this week. I shouldn't know your name at all. Like, with all due respect,
right.
If you're a Major League Baseball player,
right.
Certainly you know, okay, that I know his name. I know he likes to work to the outside corner. I know he doesn't give me the inside part. I make those adjustments. The players should know. But the fans should have no clue who Brian Walsh is, and they do. So my opinion on the umpires, I think they just need to lean a little bit more into automation. Do we maybe need full robot umpires? Maybe not. Maybe there's some flaws in that, and they haven't figured that out long term. But there's just no way I could walk into some of these series with hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue on the line and have these guys dictating what's going to happen. It's a shame. It is.
I know baseball people that may be able to give me Christian Yelich, but that's about it when it comes to who's on the Brewers and why in the hell are they so good. What are your thoughts on the Brew Crew? Are they a for real baseball team? I mean, best record in baseball. They've just been scratching out wins all over the place. I know they just lost to the Phillies last night in the afternoon, but are they a for real contender to win it all?
Yeah, it's the arms. And everyone always says that, if you can pitch, you can win in October. No, you need to be able to hit, too. And that's the part, I think, is the reason I hesitate on Milwaukee. It's not that I'm sellers on what they're doing. They can pitch with the best of them. And one thing that really helps in the regular season, if you can pitch and you've got that type of depth, you're going to win a lot of games. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're the only team in baseball that's really dominant on the road. Pitching travels, man. But when you get to October, you need some vets, some guys who can take some professional at-bats and make adjustments on the fly. So I want to believe in Milwaukee. I really do. Love what they're doing, watching a ton of them this year. Freddie Peralta's been awesome on the mound this year. But I need to see what they do in October with the bat. Gotta.
Who wins the American League East?
That's the Yankees. With Roman Anthony, maybe a few days ago before that strain, I would have told you Boston's going to win this division. I just think they take care of the Yankees when they go to Fenway. But now with no Roman Anthony, I think those results change. I'm looking at the Yankees.
Why not Toronto in that equation?
You know, believe it or not, I just think a lot of it is momentum-based, and it's all going to be I could have a completely different answer. If you guys want to have me stop in next weekend, I'm going to have a completely different answer because we start today. And the Yankees traveled in. They landed. They got home at 6 a.m. So obviously excuses are flying. I'm not having any of it. But if the Yankees don't take care of Toronto this week and this weekend, it's going to be a completely different story. You're talking about a 5-game lead in the division. But if the Yankees sweep, they're tied for first place. A lot can change.
Yankees Unloaded podcast on YouTube. Gary Sheffield Jr. Always fun to have you on the show, young man. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anytime.